So it's the last day of the Champions League group stage. Well, it's the last set because, of course, there are other games on tomorrow. The point is that this is the last of the group games. So, you had groups of 4 teams. Only the top 2 will qualify to the knockout stage. The third team will get into the Europa League. Okay. So there's 10-15 minutes left. Just do our research. Just going to the OLBG.com website. I'm going to look at the Champions League tips. So that way, I can be up to speed, know where the interesting bets are. So we've got Barcelona versus Mönchengladbach. Off the top of my head, I'd guess, Barcelona at home, Barcelona win. I mean, that's also unless they were playing unless this was a semi-final or something, and they were playing against one of the really big clubs. It's hard to see anyone really doing. It's hard to see much of an upset. Anything but a Barcelona win here. But that's already priced in. I mean, since everybody knows that surely Barcelona are going to win, they're happy to plow in their money backing Barcelona. So the bookies only have to don't have to offer any value at all. Basel or Arsenal, again, I'm an Arsenal supporter. So I'd have a tendency to, even though I try and not have a bias, it's hard to avoid. So my theory is I should avoid betting on Arsenal because I might have a blind spot. Aside from backing them to finish in the top 4, which has been my best bet for the last whatever years, you can basically back Arsenal to finish in the top 4, getting roughly double your money odds every year. Even though, as I said, they've done it for 20 years in a row. Nearly, something like that. Man City, Celtic, again, like Barcelona, it's hard to see beyond a Man City win. So in that way, just checking the time, I don't really know about these teams. PSG here. So I know about PSG because they're in the same group as Arsenal. Paris Saint-Germain are top of the table because of the away goals rule. So if you've got 2 teams who are, 1 and 2 on the table and they're joint, it's how well what your goal difference is. It's as if if it was a pure knockout. So Arsenal got a 1-1 draw away at Paris Saint-Germain. A couple of weeks ago, Arsenal got a 2-2 draw against Paris Saint-Germain. So Paris Saint-Germain have got 2 away goals. Arsenal have only got 1. So if they have the same points, Paris Saint-Germain will go through. So I'd expect Paris Saint-Germain to win. Shockingly low odds, because I mean, Ludogorets are a decent side. can't remember the exact score, but I mean, Arsenal thrashed them, so it could well have been something like a 6-1. But yeah, I think that was the one that Ozil got a hat trick. But the score, I think, was flattering. I mean, Ludogorets were pretty good. I think maybe 2-1. Pushing it maybe 3-1 would have been a fair result. Fair indication of what the teams were like. Again, I don't really know about either of these sides. I mean, I know PSV are from Holland and stuff, but Benfica, Napoli. Now, this is an interesting one because I think they're joint top. So who's going to finish top of the table? Now, Bayern Munich are a giant club, but Atletico Madrid have been in the final twice in the last 3 years. So it's very rough that these two are in the same group. Juve, Zagreb. So I'd assume Juve are going to win that, as the odds say. So is there any interesting bet on? Porto, Leicester. Porto are favourites. I think Leicester are guaranteed top of the table. So really, they don't care. While Porto will probably qualify if they win, and so they'd be highly incentivized. And also, Porto are a very good side. Typically, I don't know what the particulars are this season. But these are 7th December. So these are tomorrow. So I'm not going to talk about them. So the point is, after doing a little bit of research, we want to find opportunities to bet, to make money based on sound probability, based on data, based on, since again, this is the Quant channel. So how do you find good opportunities? Well, we've been doing that for the last week or two, so you can see the videos and we have found good bets, and it has, like, last weekend was good. We looked at the data and we saw that I think it was a Southampton-Leicester game that both of them tended to have 3 goals or more. And we got more than double your money odds, even though it was something that happens something like nearly 80% of the time. So that's the kind of thing we're looking for. So, most people will not have done any research and will be betting based on the teams that they support, based on, how famous the club is, as opposed to how well they've been doing this year. Now, I just want to check what people say here. My instincts are, so I did look at this a bit, I think today earlier or yesterday. I mean, in a way, I should just bet on this, because at the end of the day, I mean, to get 36% profit tax-free in an evening is pretty good. So I wouldn't dismiss right off, that's the one, if you want to bet on just Barcelona to win, because I'd say there's a very high probability they will. I would wait to see what the team was, So, is Messi playing? Is Suarez playing? So is there any kind of shock developments in the squads? If that's not the case, then I'd be, as I said, I mean, I myself wouldn't back Barcelona there, but it's a reasonable enough bet to do. I didn't know that German teams don't like to travel Barcelona. Gladbach have nothing to play for. Cannot move. So Barcelona can't move to the top, or can't move from the top, so they could lose. But it doesn't matter. I mean, it doesn't matter for Barcelona whether they win or lose. They're going to be top of the table. I would just have thought that since they drew against Real on the weekend, their morale, it would just be like a morale booster. Since the Mönchengladbach will also have nothing to play for, and so Barcelona are really out of form, drawing 4 of their last 5. See, that's what you read these things for. So if they've drawn 4 of the last 5, and the odds for them to win are 1.36, it might be worth. There might be value in, just a small bet on them not to win. Barcelona have drawn 4 of their last 5. Gladbach, though, have lost 3 of their last 5. Okay, so I don't know. I mean, there's nothing really kicking and screaming. Both teams to score is interesting, but unfortunately, no. There's no comment here. So I would have liked to have known whether both teams have tended to score, because I wouldn't be surprised if Barcelona's defense hasn't been phenomenal, because they'd more be kind of going, look, we're going to score 3 or 4 goals, so we don't really care if we lose a goal. Barcelona being the second most productive team in the squad, blah, blah. Again, so I would have expected quite a lot of goals, as I was saying, but the odds are so low. This is interesting. Barcelona does not score many goals lately. That's interesting, because if basically Barcelona haven't been scoring lots, then I mean, so maybe I could do a bet that they're going to score less than 3. So if they do score 3, you don't lose anything. That might be an interesting bet. Like, we're getting close, so I want to zoom ahead. Or this is more what I want to use today. So I have the link in the description below the video. So these are the groups. So the reason I'm showing that is because the important thing today, since it's the last set of matches in the group stage, is to work out whether there's anything of interest. So I would have said it's the other way around, because actually it's the relative goal difference between Arsenal and Paris Saint-Germain that will determine who comes top. But basically what this says is that Paris Saint-Germain are at home against the bottom team in the group. Arsenal, again, being an Arsenal supporter, I'd be aware of that, will want to win just in case Paris Saint-Germain slip up. That's one way of looking at things. The other is they might rest their star players, because they have qualified. And by resting their players, they don't get many breaks. So, since it makes no difference, they can go, look, it doesn't matter. We've qualified. And it's not as if there aren't loads of, there isn't a lot of squad depth. I think the games are starting now. So I'll set this up. Here it is. So this is on Bet365. Now, this is pretty nifty. I mean, they've changed things around a little bit. So I want to look at Barcelona, Mgladbach. Oh, Bayern Munich. Yeah, Arsenal supporters have to follow that. Man City, Celtic. And since they're in the same group, I want to know, is that all of them? Yeah. So then, if any goals scored or whatever, these will flash. From a quant point of view, I just want the data. So you get a lot more information on this screen than I'd get, if I'm just watching the game on TV. So, for example, it doesn't have these games. Which one do I want? Ooh, yeah, I'll click on Man City Celtic here. So that starts at 7:45. So that should be pretty much now. Yeah, so what I want to do is I want to look at the Barcelona group. Yeah. So Barcelona won 7-0 against Celtic. So when Barcelona were home, they won 7-0 and they won 4-0. So, they do seem to be scoring at a decent rate. But this is way back in October. And, your man was saying recently, in the last maybe 5 matches or whatever, they haven't been as prolific. So Barcelona are top of the table. They've scored 16 goals in 5. So that's, say, 3 goals a game. And they've conceded 4. Now, I was wondering whether both teams to score was a reasonable bet. Well, they didn't concede against Celtic, but they did concede 3 against Man City. So, I don't know. How about Mönchengladbach? Mönchengladbach lost 4-0 when they went away to City. They won 2-0 against Celtic. So, I mean, you can see the top 2 are Barcelona, Man City. And these, Mönchengladbach and Celtic, are considerably weaker. So I'm thinking about whether I would do a handicap bet. So basically, I'll look at it here and then I'll look at the Betfair as well. So where's the handicap? Come on. First half. Should be here. That's strange. Both teams to score, total goals. So with a handicap, you kind of go, Barcelona are going to win by 2 goals or more. Or Barcelona are going to win by 1 goal or more. So, that way, if you have a game like Barcelona at home, where just backing Barcelona to win doesn't give you particularly good returns. You can kind of look to boost the returns. Here it is, Asian handicap. So I'm interested in this, Barcelona minus 1.5, because I think Barcelona are going to win by more than one goal. And if I do that, I get to more than double my money, which is the attraction. Borussia Mönchengladbach are 13th in the German league. In their last 5 away games, they've lost 4 and beat Celtic 2-0. Blah, blah, blah. And this guy has a good track record. You know, like he's tends to be winning bets. Now, the game have started, so, but normally, you know, if I had more time, I might read through all these, you know, to build up my knowledge about the teams. But so I would be prone. I think I have bet on Barcelona minus 1.5, and I probably have bet on Man City minus 1.5 against Celtic. I just look at this and then start looking at the feed from the matches on Bet365. Oh, so they've only have minus 1.25. So have they not done the minus 1.5? Anyway. So again, this guy has a very good track record. Like, so basically I feel better if the people, like other people who are backing the same thing as me, like if they have a positive, good track record, then at least there are other people who seem to have noticed that this is good value. Anyway, to the matches. Oh, goal, Celtic already. And as I was saying, I was just backing Man City. I think I have backed Man City to win by more than one goal. So this is actually very good. What I want to do now is have a small bet that Man City are going to win by more than a goal. Because, I mean, no, what I'm going to do, I know it's boring, but yeah. Or are other people rushing in with that same bet? Yes, I got it. So, no, I didn't. It hasn't been matched. Waiting to be matched. Come on, come on. Because that's often a good opportunity as well. Because, I mean, oh yeah, Celtic scored fantastic with a very early goal, but that just gives Man City lots of time. And Man City can score 3 or 4 goals. I just want to check the squad to see, you know, do Man City have their main players out? So they don't have Aguero, but they do have Gundogan, Fernando, you know, Sane, Nolito. I mean, that's a formidable attacking group. I don't so much know this is a far stronger side, in short. So It's still not matching. Yeah, I'm looking for too much. Because yeah, if I was, did it match 2.38 or 2.3? What happened there? No, I got 2.3 in the end, I think. What is it saying? Yeah. Good. Now, I was going to bet on Man City to win by 2 or more goals. So by Celtic scoring a goal early, if Man City win now, they're going to have to score 2 goals or whatever. But basically, this is a similar bet to what I wanted to make, and I'm getting very nice odds. Back to the other games. Oh yeah, so still setting things up since the games are just getting started. So as I was saying, we can look at the different leagues. We can look at the different look at the different groups. So here, Arsenal and Paris Saint-Germain have qualified. So there is the issue of who's going to top the group, but Paris Saint-Germain are going to win most likely. So so Man City have scored already. So happy days. Lucky that I moved in and made my bet. And of course, I then kind of go, I could have bet so much more. But, there are so many bets. It's more the methodology. Where was I? Yes. So before the game started, I looked at the different groups. And this is the really interesting group. So we have Napoli and Benfica joint on points. And they're playing each other. So if Besiktas wins, since they're on 7 points, they'll be up to 10 and they'll qualify. At the same time, these two know that if they just draw, Besiktas could win and top the group. So there's a lot to play for, in short. So then I was just looking at Kiev versus Besiktas. And I go, okay, Kiev haven't won a game. And they've nothing to play for. So it's not as if they win, they'll get into the Europa League or whatever. I mean, they are at home, but so far they've lost both their home games. They managed to draw away to Besiktas, which is excellent, because Besiktas at home, I would have thought, was a tricky match. So basically, I'm backing Besiktas because they have a lot to play for, and Kiev don't. I just want to check how that game's. Oh, Dynamo Kiev are in the lead. So there I was, just telling you that Besiktas are the ones to back. More importantly, Arsenal scored. Excellent. And good old Lucas Perez. Where was I? Okay. So what's going on in the Kiev Besiktas? So Kiev are in the lead. They've had slightly more possession. And here's where here's the lovely event location thing. So basically, they got a shot from right in the middle of the box, very near the goal line. That's very dangerous. I mean, the closer you are to the goal, the greater your chance of scoring is. So, yeah, so you can see here, if 2-0, oh no, that's 2 shots, sorry. Yeah, I mean, you can always take shots from anywhere, but it rapidly falls. It's not that you have a 20% less chance if you shoot from outside the box. It's probably like 10 times or something. So anyway, I've backed Besiktas to win and both teams to score. So if both teams score and Besiktas doesn't win, I'll make a small profit, I think. Ideally, Besiktas will win. The other one, again, still setting the background. The other one was, where is that? Yes, this one. So in this group, Atletico Madrid have won. I mean, they've got 15 points. So even if Bayern Munich win, they'll only go up to 12. So there really is nothing to play for. Here, I'm backing PSV. Now, hopefully, when I look at the results, it won't be Rostoffer in the lead. But basically, PSV are at home. They are the more experienced, better side. So we'll see how that goes. But that was one of the most attractive. Now, the only question mark in my mind is that PSV, I think, are doing well in the league. So, if you think that getting knocked out of the Champions League and not be in the Europa League is more advantageous to you as far as winning the league is concerned, then you might not be fully committed to winning the league. But I don't think that's the case. I mean, so we'll see. So I just want to check how. Oh, and Barcelona have already gone 1 goal up. I've also bet on Messi to score, just because he's scoring he always scores at a prolific rate. So, yeah, that was a small bet. Oh yeah, I just wanted to check PSV, and then I can sit back. I mean, we've gone through the first 15 minutes. So PSV have nearly 60%, so more possession, more attacks, more shots. Okay. Okay, so there hasn't been any shots on target. There hasn't been any goals. So there isn't anything to show. Okay. Whoa. Ludogorets are in the lead. Now, again, as an Arsenal supporter, that's perfect. I mean, that fingers crossed. I think Arsenal only need to do better. So that means Paris Saint-Germain, even if Paris Saint-Germain get a draw, Arsenal can win, can get through. I'll check do they have Cavani? Yeah, So they've got the Cavani, Mata, Matuidi, Di Maria. Yeah, so, and Arsenal are now 2-0. So at least Arsenal are doing their bit, I mean, if the other guy wins, oh! No, sorry. I just thought Celtic had scored, but of course Celtic had scored first and they were the ones in the lead. Quick check here. So in this game, I'll just check to see. Oh, no, there was another interesting one. Oh, that's maybe tomorrow with Sevilla and Lyon. Where'd it go? Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's the thing. Remember, I was saying, so Besiktas are playing Kiev. So there's the danger that Besiktas could win. So Napoli, Benfica, they want to win to not have Besiktas jump above them and top the group. I just want to see what Napoli versus Benfica. What happened before? Benfica. Where? Yeah. So Napoli were at home against Benfica and won 4-2. So if it's a draw, Napoli stay top of the table. So Napoli will qualify unless Benfica beat them. And Besiktas doesn't win. Okay, so at least we're aware of the issues. Back to the games. See if there's any chat going on. So, okay. And so who did score for Arsenal and who did score for Barcelona? Yep, Messi scored. Excellent. And who scored for Arsenal? Ooh, Lucas Perez again. So he's the Spanish forward / striker / winger that Arsenal bought this year. He done. I mean, I only looked him up after Arsenal bought him, but he did do very well the year before in the Spanish league, and he's pretty experienced. So he's not like a kid. So he's more a fully grown player. So there's less risk. That he can deliver and all that kind of stuff. And fair play to him, because obviously with Sanchez doing so well, it's hard to get into the side, because even Giroud's is finding it tricky, and he's a top class international striker. So where does that leave us? So we've looked at OLBG and the recommended tips and stuff there, where the value was. And I was basically saying I thought backing Man City to win by more than a goal looked interesting. was worth doing. Backing Barcelona to win by 2 goals or more was also worth doing. I mean, that because you could basically double your money. And I didn't write off just backing Barcelona because, yes, you're not making a fortune, but 30% win it's still profit. Then I looked through the various groups, and I, from that, felt that backing Besiktas made good sense, since they were playing against Dynamo Kiev, who were the weakest team in the group, and had lost, their other home games. So that was the argument. Then, of course, we saw that Kiev are in the lead. So I had the Besiktas game and PSV. Yeah, I was backing PSV because I think they're a stronger, I've heard of them more. They're a more established European squad. And if PSV win, then they get into Europa League, which is lucrative. Not as much, obviously, as the Champions League, but you make a lot of money for just having qualified and so on. So I'll just get rid of this. $1.75. That's not bad. I mean, are Celtic doing very well? I'll just have a look. Okay, so there hasn't been. Have I not included any Champions League game? No. Okay. Now just do a review of how games are going. So Arsenal are 2-0 up. EB, very good. They've had 2 shots, 2 goals. I mean, otherwise, it's pretty level. I mean, Basel have slightly more attacks. Both have equal dangerous attacks. Possession is pretty much equal. Good to see, because Perez is a striker. That's a very nice area to be shooting from. You're actually in the box. And it's not right there, but yeah, so that good stuff. Anyway, so that's. No, again, I want the. Okay, so that's the Arsenal game. I'll just go through them now. Ludogorets are still in the lead, but Paris Saint-Germain have had 2 shots on target compared to 1. They've had 2 shots off target. They've had 70% possession. Way more attacks. Way more dangerous attacks. The odds are still, so it's only 1.5. So, I mean, everybody thinks that Paris Saint-Germain are going to win. As do I, to be fair, but fingers crossed. Man City Celtic. Far closer than I would have thought. In possession, Celtic have had more. Dangerous attacks about the same. Celtic have had slightly more. I mean, that's not, 14-12 about the same. 22-15, I'd say that's Celtic have had more attacks. So are Man City more kind of hitting them on the counter? I don't know. Celtic have had more shots on target, and both equal off target. So Celtic have had 2 shots from excellent positions inside the box. So, and where you'd think they should score. So if they can keep getting shots from right in the box, then Celtic have every chance of scoring more. Bayern Munich, Atletico. Now, Atletico, that's in many, I think a couple of times, I've been saying, I typically, if it's an Atletico game, I would bet on less than 3 goals. Yeah, Atletico to win 1-0 or 2-0, something like that. I mean, they're very good at their defense is superb. As you'd expect, yeah, Bayern Munich have loads of possession, but Atletico are confident in their defense. So Atletico have had, again, shots from very good locations. So they could, even though it's 0-0, they could easily have been goals. Again, since this is a game which really doesn't matter, like both these teams have qualified, and even if Bayern Munich win, Atletico Madrid are top of the table. So, it's have they just scored now? No. Because, they're just currently suspended. Anyway, moving on, since it doesn't matter. Barcelona, still only 1-0. They're dominating possession. Far more attacks. Far more. In fact, they've got all the shots. So this is heading for like a 3-4-0 or something. Maybe Mgladbach can get 1 goal. I don't know. At the moment, they haven't even had a shot on target. Only 3 left. PSV Rostov. Well, as I said, I'm backing PSV. They've had 4 shots off target. They have more possession, double the attacks, dangerous attacks, 50% more attacks. So, I mean, PSV are trying to get. Okay, so there's been no shots on target. So yeah, PSV are doing well. I mean, if they keep playing like this, the pressure should lead to results. Oh, sorry, just saw the score. So Bayern Munich have scored, so they're 1-0 up. But as I said, this is a totally meaningless game since Atletico are still going to be top of the group and so on. So we looked at PSV, Dynamo Kiev. Penalty for who? And a red card. For who? No! So I backed Besiktas to win. And they have a red card. So now they're not going to win. I mean, you're not going to, if you're a goal down, if you're 2 goals down and a man down, that's game over. That's a pity. Well, of course, I'd say that because I was betting on Besiktas. I thought that was a very sound bet, but you always do. That said, on the bright side, things are looking good for Arsenal. Of course, Paris Saint-Germain are most likely going to win. So in the end, it might not matter, but Arsenal are doing their bit. And Arsenal have rested their star players. So Sanchez, I think Ozil gets a break as well. I'll check here. So that should help them. No, sorry, this is the full squad. They've got Perez, they've got Sanchez. Ozil, what formation are they playing? So Spin and goal, Gabriel would be right back, Gibbs left back, Koscielny and Holding will be the central defenders. Now, this is a very attacking team. So they've got Iwobi would be left flank. Oh yeah, this is a strange side. That's what I'll look it up later. Oh, yeah, Benfica, Napoli. So here, it's another one which doesn't matter. Sorry, it does. Because if Besiktas win, they would jump above these two. But it's now 3-0. So this is going totally not the way I thought. So that means that Benfica and Napoli are happy to play out a draw. Well, no. Because Napoli, I think, are top of the table. And Benfica want to win and go top of the table. So, what else is going on? I'm just still shocked, disappointed at Besiktas. I mean, I didn't see them losing 3-0 or to be down 3-0. That's. I suppose I was thinking that Turkish teams I normally associate as being very strong at home and not so away. So there was that element. And backing Besiktas to win, at the odds were something like 2.5. So again, that tells you that where was it? Yeah, Kiev were odds on. So I mean, it's not, from the odds perspective, that's not a surprise that Kiev would win. And also, it's December, it'd be cold. It's always tricky to fly over to Russia in the cold weather. So now we just have to jump amongst the games and see how it's going. Ludogorets, yep, they're still holding out. Paris Saint-Germain are just banging at the door. It will be hard to keep, I mean, if Paris Saint-Germain it's only 34 minutes. So if they just keep banging at the door for the next hour, I mean, it's hard to see Ludogorets holding on. Are Celtic still doing well? So it's still possession 50-50. But they've had more shots on target, more shots even off target. So I would have thought that Man City would dominate. They'd have maybe 70-80% possession and far more shots. Like they would just be banging away at the door with Celtic, desperately holding on. But in the end, losing. So it's been slightly different. I'll check again to see what the team is. But yeah, so they've got Fernandinho. Yeah, Nacho. I mean, these are, aside from Aguero, most of these players would be regular starters. Oh, and I think Aguero is on the bench. So if they, if the situation requires it, they can bring him on. Now, I want Barcelona to win by more than a goal. Okay, so Man City are attacking. No luck, Nolito. But at least they're getting a shot and a corner. Keep the pressure on. Is there any chance of Besiktas scoring a goal? Well, they've had 5 shots off target. They've had more attacks. I suppose, essentially, it's the red card that messed things up. I mean, they were 1-0 down anyway, but you can come back from a goal down. But to be away and have a red card, that's nearly impossible. Anything in the Bayern Munich? So, yes, Bayern Munich have had more possession, like double, but they've had the same number of shots on target. So I want PSV to score. And you can see from the odds, they are odds on to win. What about Man City? Man City are odds on to win. So I'm just going to try. So I'm just going to go to. I'm going to back Man City. And I'm going to back PSV. Is that okay? Why is it complaining? Oh. Okay. Since the odds have changed. I should be able to do both. I think PSV are going to score. odds may differ from singles, yeah. Because, there are various bets that you can't make as multiples because they're actually correlated. So you can't bet on both teams to score and 3 or more goals, because essentially if both teams score, that happens. But both of those happen together quite often. Why is it not letting me? It has. Oh well, not the end of the world, but strange. Back to see how the games are going. So Celtic are still holding their own. I mean, have Man City not progressed? I mean, in that Celtic would have seen how Man City played, and they would have. I think, they got a draw. I think at Celtic, so they could they'd probably have gone for the same approach. But I wouldn't have expected it to work again. I mean, City are a far stronger side than Celtic, and I mean, like Celtic, like just on the resources, because the Scottish League has far less money. That is the joy of betting. So let's see here. At least Paris Saint-Germain have still to score. So remember, I mean, from an Arsenal perspective, even if Paris Saint-Germain score once, that doesn't matter because Arsenal will top the group. So the longer this game goes on, I can imagine the French support will not be happy. They'll be more attacking, booing the players because you've got no excuse. Who are these ludicrous and all that kind of stuff? So they would be feeling more and more pressure. But then again, like they are top sportsmen. That's the nature of the beast. Like they are used to being under pressure. Man City's half-time. Yep, Arsenal still 2-0 up, which I think is, I mean, they've only had 2 shots on target. Basel have had more possession, have had more attacks. Good play. That's halftime as well. Oh yeah, so what happened here? So they keep having shots, but mainly off target. But I would expect that if the pressure continues, they should break through. This is the one I'm disappointed with. I was very confident that Besiktas would actually win, and I've got both sides to score. So basically, if Besiktas score a goal, then I'm fine. Then I'm happy. I would have been happier if Besiktas had won, but if they do score, then I got away with it. Here, I would have thought it's a tough one because they're both good sides. And yeah, they're all halftime now, so I think I can have my cup of tea. So I think the Man City are still. I just want to see why. Oh, multiples. I'll click on multiples. Is that why I couldn't? So Man City and I think PSV. So I want to back these two. Yes, got it done. Because they're the two that I think are going to. 4-0 to Kiev. Sorry. What happened there? Yeah. Okay. So that's why it might be that they've changed the interface because you used to be able to just, or sorry, you're able to do that. Just click on the normal interface and back who you want, and then say you want a multiple. But maybe when the matches are live, you have to switch on. Now you have to click on better odds maybe on the exchange. Well, yeah, but I mean, okay, so yeah, tea break. Oh, and I want to read. Yeah, also just keep track of what the so basically saying that it should have been a penalty for Celtic. The referee didn't see it as a joke. He had both arms. It was both arms from Clichy, who's the Man City defender. Okay. Back in a bit. Let's check what. So Barcelona have had far more possession, way more attacks, way more. Yeah, so I'd expect Mönchengladbach to be exhausted in the second half because, you can't keep your concentration up and keep defending like they have been. But this one, well, the problem here is that PSV haven't had a single shot on target. I mean, that's not encouraging. But otherwise, they're playing well. Who's doing better here? Pretty much the same possession. Benfica have had more shots, but like shots off target. I mean, Napoli have had more on target, but 3-2 is pretty much the same. Great that Paris Saint-Germain haven't been able to score yet. I mean, as I was saying, Arsenal did thrash Ludogorets, but I thought that the score was kind of flattering. I mean, Ludogorets are a good side. I mean, they were asking questions. We needed good saves to be made and good defending and all that kind of stuff. And at the same time, I wouldn't be at all surprised if Paris Saint-Germain won, since they've had, look at the number of shots, 6 shots off target, 4 on. You'd think they would have scored. Well, sorry. So they've had 4 shots on target. But I mean, from here, that's not a proper. I mean, they're just pot shots. I mean, if you're taking shots from near the corner flag, like the likelihood, like that was more a cross. It might have gone on target, but had to be. Yes, I mean, that's deceptive. That's a possible chance, but even there, it's not. I mean, you could have scored from there. So looking at the location of the events, that doesn't look as impressive for Paris Saint-Germain. I mean, that looks like. Oh, the game just started again. So Paris Saint-Germain game has started, and so has. Still have pretty much all of them. Have they made any substitutions? Because this is a weird game. I mean, as I said, I thought Man City would win this very comfortably. But that really doesn't seem to have been the case at all. Ooh, haha, superb. So Arsenal have scored again. I mean, that said, it doesn't really matter because all they needed to do was win. Arsenal already had a better goal difference than Paris Saint-Germain. If Paris Saint-Germain win, then they go top of the table. So, but it's good to see. I mean, because Basel is not a useless side, and it's always nice to win like by nice amounts. Arsenal just beat West Ham 5-1. Let's see who scored. Whoa, Perez again, hat-trick. Pretty good. And Barcelona scored again. So I think I had a bet on Barcelona to win by more than a goal. And that was the one that I was talking about when I was looking at OLBG. You know, that looked like a good bet. I mean, you could double your money with that. As opposed to, you know, if you just backed Barcelona to win, you made 1.35 or something. Did Messi score again? I just want to see who scored that. I mean, once we get to about 75 minutes, I'll feel pretty good because, I mean, if Paris Saint-Germain are still a goal down after 75 minutes, then they need to score twice to top the table. While if they score now, then they have like 40, 45 minutes to score the second one. So again, it does show the predictability of things in that, you know, I would have thought Man City would win comfortably. They're only 1-1. I would have been very sure that Paris Saint-Germain would have won, and I would have thought comfortably. They're losing. I thought Arsenal might win. I thought maybe 2-0. But yeah, it's going better than I expected. And that's why, you know, the results are more random than you suspect. Just, I mean, intuitively, you kind of go, oh, well, surely that's not going to happen. But every week you can see that it does. So I'm looking for Man City to score again and PSV just to win. So they're the two active things. Oh, and of course, Paris Saint-Germain. So fingers crossed that we get to maybe 75 minutes without Paris Saint-Germain scoring. Then I'd be beginning to think that maybe it could be Arsenal's lucky day. So have Besiktas basically just given up? Or is there any chance of a goal? But they haven't had a shot on target yet, so, you know. Oh, Barcelona 3-0. So that's exactly that's what you normally associate with Barcelona. Barcelona at home, they just mow over teams. Turan, didn't know. Ooh, not looking good for Mönchengladbach because it's only 53 minutes and it's 3-0. This could be 5-0, 6-0. You know what I mean? Anything could happen. So again, Ludogorets have only had one shot on target, but we saw, with this, that basically the Paris Saint-Germain shots were from weird angles. I mean, you'd need to take 10, 20, many shots from here or here to have any chance of scoring. Oh, fantastic. Arsenal 4-0. Four shots on target, 4 goals. Okay. What about PSV? What are they doing? Still haven't had a shot on target. They have comfortably more possession. They are attacking more. What? 4-0? Was it 4-0 last time I saw? Happy days. Fourth goal, it will be. Yeah, okay, I knew it will be had scored, so I knew it was 4 goals because I knew Perez had scored a hat trick. Yeah, Man City are still really not doing much. I mean, they've only had 2 shots on target compared to 4. Oh, goals, yeah. Yeah, so good play by Celtic because I mean they're getting shots from very dangerous areas. Besiktas still to have a shot on target. Go on. Time's ticking away. I mean, I could imagine the crowd are getting more and more nervous because this would have been viewed. I mean, if this was Arsenal and it was the last game and we just needed to beat Ludogorets, it would have been a party atmosphere. We're all celebrating that we're already through. While to concede the goal would have been a shock, but then to just be unable to respond would not be good. $60, 57 minutes. So we're approaching 60 minutes. I mean, you just have to go all out to attack now. And if you're Paris Saint-Germain, you have to score 2 goals. And it doesn't matter if you lose 2 or 3-0. I mean, you're going to be, you've already qualified. And as I said, like, Ludogorets are a decent side. Like, so I mean, if you do attack, they have a good counterattack. Like, they will, as you can see, like, they're defending well, and there's a real threat that they could get you on the counter. And if they do score, then your chances of, I mean, then you're essentially 2-0 down, and you have to score 3 goals after having found scoring even 1 very difficult. So it's a tricky situation. But, you know, Paris Saint-Germain have an obscene amount of money. They have a fantastic squad. So, you know, I mean, I don't have that much sympathy. Also, of course, I'm an Arsenal supporter, so Aki would be delighted if they don't win. Then I'll be getting worried because, you know, if you're top of your group, you play a team who are second in the group. And this year, there are many incredibly hard teams who are second in the group. So Bayern Munich are second in the group. I think Real Madrid are. You know, so that kind of stuff. So Arsenal could top the group and then end up facing an awful side. And I mean, as in, so the probability of Paris Saint-Germain scored. What happened there? It says here Ludogorets in possession. Uh-oh. Okay, so this video is obviously about a half a minute or a minute behind. So Paris Saint-Germain have scored. This will show up in a little bit. Napoli have scored. Who was top of the table? Sorry. No, I've deleted or I've closed that table. So what I want is Man City to score and PSV to score. Now, this is just interesting because, okay, yes, Paris Saint-Germain scored, but it took them, 50 minutes. Like, okay, no, sorry, not 50. So it's 50. So Ludogorets took the lead after 15 minutes. It was half an hour. And so 45 minutes. Ooh, looks like they've scored again. Well, I mean, at least it was. It provided a bit of entertainment. Oh no, they got a corner. I mean, they haven't changed the score. It's just when suddenly all the odds, when it suddenly gets suspended. I think that happens when you get a free kick or that kind of stuff as well. Barcelona. It could be that PSV are more focused on the Dutch league and not having the distraction of Europe. Wouldn't be a bad thing. Kiev are now 5-0. Oh, there's been a red card. 2 red cards for Besiktas now. This is bad to worse, even worse. Total disaster by Besiktas. Now, City did draw against Mgladbach, I think. I remember hearing the reports about how they were all over them, or they just didn't go in for the kill. So Man City seemed to be pretty much relaxed, not bothered about what happened, since they knew, they had qualified already, which is doing the hard bit. So perhaps I should have taken that into account, that the evidence suggests that they're not bothered. Okay, so the thing is here is that it's tricky to model, to capture mathematically. I mean, this isn't about, I can look at Man City, I can look at their team, and their fantastic, traditionally, their fantastic home form and all that kind of stuff. But particularly in the last game of the group, it is about whether the team is trying to win or not. That Man City, they've already qualified. It makes no difference whether they win or lose. So really, why would they be bothered? The players don't want to get injured when it doesn't matter. They don't want to, strain themselves. Yeah, basically risk themselves. So was there any example of that not being the case? Now Barcelona have qualified. They were top. So they could have just sat back. Though I suppose I associate, Barcelona and the crowd and stuff, they want to be entertained. I would associate that kind of, we've already qualified, so this doesn't matter, to more be an Italian trait. I didn't know what the situation was as far as Man City were concerned. I just thought, Guardiola's their manager. He'd kind of be like Barcelona, so yes, they didn't need to win, but neither did Barcelona. So I would have thought Guardiola would want to just, fantastic. Sorry. Ludogorets have just scored. Wow. I mean, wow. So that means that Paris Saint-Germain need to score twice in the next 25 minutes. That is really poor. I mean, they have such an expensive side, such a fantastic team. Yes, they might have slipped up and conceded a goal at the start, but I don't think that was that bad, because Arsenal, when Arsenal played them, they were tricky. But to have come back and then put yourself in a great position to go in for the kill, I have less sympathy when you concede the second time. Not that I have any bet on it. And of course, I'm more hoping that Paris Saint-Germain don't get to win, because then Arsenal win the group. So what's happening at Man City and PSV? Getting back to the bets. Well, they keep hitting. They keep getting shots off target. I mean, that's pretty poor. I mean, 9 shots off target. Yeah, I mean, I can hardly expect anything from the Kiev match. I mean, 2 red cards, 5-0. Yeah, I wouldn't really bother. So PSV and Man City are my games to keep track of. So I said PSV, get a shot on target, because I mean 70, it's loads of attacking play, getting the ball up, but nothing on target. And Man City, so City, they barely had they pretty much had the same possession, same number of attacks. Will they do any substitutions? I suppose. Are they at all bothered? Okay, so they have brought on Navas, which is an attacking substitution. He's a winger, so Barcelona 4-0. Were they 4? I remember they were 3. Yeah, they just scored now. I would assume it's Messi, but they do have Suarez and others. Because Messi would always be trying to keep up with or keep the lead over Cristiano Ronaldo. Try and get a new record for the number of goals in the Champions League and all that kind of stuff. Go on. So, unimpressive. Even bad set of results, it looks like, from the betting point of view. Because I thought, okay, Barcelona I got right. I thought Barcelona would win by more than 1 goal. I thought that Messi would score. So, tick. I avoided Bayern Munich, Atletico Madrid, since it didn't matter. Man City, I thought, would win by 2 goals or more, but I didn't bet on that. I bet on to win after Celtic scored, because I thought, I got good odds backing just City to win. I didn't need to say they win by 2 goals or more. That hasn't. It's not over yet, so they could win. I thought Besiktas would score, and I thought they'd in fact win. I thought both sides would score, and I thought Besiktas would win. That neither has happened, and I thought PSV would win. So they were more driven by looking at the table and looking at the logic of what was going on. So that PSV, if they won, would qualify for the Europa, and would therefore that would make them. That's lucrative. They would make several million euro more if they won. And I also thought PSV are the better side. So, they're at home, they're the better side, they'll be able to step it up. Like Dynamo Kiev did. I thought Besiktas were the better side than Kiev. And so they had nothing to play for. So I didn't think that there was a threat of something like this. But that's because it was also you had 2 red cards. So this as well I avoided because I didn't really have any preference. So I would like City to, but why are they taking so long? City should be able to just brush Celtic aside. There are few. I don't know whether anyone on the Celtic team would make it to the Man City one. And they're at home. So, yeah, this is just shows the difficulty of prediction, forecasting, etc. in football. What's more, nothing strange has happened in the City Celtic match. So if City had played as expected, and if the Celtic goalie had one of those games where even though City had like 10, 15 shots on target, the goalie just kept saving everything. Okay, that can happen. And then, you write it off as one of those days. But City didn't even manage to get more shots on target. So that's just a hard one to analyze. So Basel have scored against Arsenal. Pity. I would have liked, obviously, to have had a clean sheet, but I would have taken 4-1 in a heartbeat. That, and more importantly, Paris Saint-Germain are still behind after we hit 80 minutes. So now they need to score twice in the last, say, 10, 15 minutes. Napoli have scored again. Still not okay. Another corner for City. Can they just step it up? And PSV is still 0-0. What's going on Paris Saint-Germain? They've just attacked and attacked and attacked. They've dominated possession. They've had far more shots. Ludogorets have had 2 shots, 2 goals. So, but at the same time, yes, it says they've had 6 shots, but that's from outside the box. So I'd say you would need 10 of those shots to maybe score a goal. You need maybe 15, 20 shots from these crazy positions. These ones this is a good location. This as well. Obviously this is even better, but this is central. You can knock it either side of the goal. You're quite near. You probably also have options to pass it over here or here. It's just, that's a normal goal scoring location. There are better. I think that's even better. But it's not useless like this one, or this one. And that's the excellent thing about Betfair, because they've just added this maybe a couple of weeks ago, or if only a week, because I don't think even in the last video I did, we didn't have this. So this lets you this gives you so much more information so that you can process. Yes, it says Paris Saint-Germain had 6 shots on target, but I wouldn't really count those. They'd be like a quarter shot. So these 2 are okay, but these 3 at most would contribute as 1 more shot on target. So that's just the thing about how good it's, how handy it is that Bet365 let you see where the shot was taken from now, which is the kind of information that we just didn't have before. And Kiev have scored another goal. And why not? I mean, because Besiktas have probably understandably given up. They're down to like 9 players. Utter disaster. And PSV have had a shot on target. Finally. Where were they from? Oh, how could they not score? That's absolute prime location. Again, that one is you're a bit desperate, hit and hope. But those two are absolutely ideal locations. Was that? No, I was. It was 6-0 when I last looked. Yeah. Oh yeah, Man City. So I'm mainly interested in PSV, Man City, and maybe Paris Saint-Germain, because there's still stuff to play for in a way. Or now, Paris Saint-Germain is interesting because they've run out of time. This is the 85th minute, and they have to score twice now. In fact, it says here 87 minutes for the substitution. So, because this is not; these are everything's at different time periods. So the picture we get here is, and the time there, this is normally a minute or so behind. So, if it's 87th, 88th, there's now maybe 5 or 6 minutes left. And Paris Saint-Germain have to score twice. I mean, even if they score once, that doesn't change anything. So I'd be confident to say that Arsenal are now top of the table. I mean, are going to top the table. I mean, so I know 87 minutes, it's still 2-1 to Ludogorets. So the score is the current score. It's pretty live. That changes before what's shown on the pitch changes, I think. So, yeah, I'm now saying that Paris Saint-Germain cannot win, so I'm not as bothered about that game now. Man City, what are they doing? I don't know. They could score from the corner. They've had, I don't know. I mean, I would have thought that even their youth team, or even their B team, is far stronger than Celtic. So I would have thought that Nolito, Sané, these guys would have grabbed the opportunity to, when they're playing in the Champions League, but evidently not. So yeah, that looks like a draw. What about PSV? 4 shots on target. There's 5 minutes left. I mean, I wouldn't. Oh, they've had 3 shots from. What are they doing? I mean, so the manager, if I was a manager, I'd be just highly unimpressed because the way they're playing, they've dominated possession, they've attacked well, and they've ended up getting shots from very dangerous locations. But they haven't scored. Benfica have scored. I don't know. I forget. I think Napoli are top. So even if Benfica score again, it won't change anything. Basel. I mean, ooh. Yeah, it's just winding down. So poor result by Paris Saint-Germain. Man City, I don't think they were bothered because, again, it doesn't make any difference. They've qualified. They were going to come second, irrespective of what happened. Celtic will be delighted. Basel, Arsenal, fantastic result by Arsenal. Bayern Munich, Atletico Madrid, both to be happy. Bayern Munich are at home. They'd want to win. Atletico Madrid have topped the group, so they don't care. Barcelona could have just sat back and done nothing. But fair play to them. They want to, you've got your huge crowd. Why not perform? I don't know about PSV Rostov. Could be that since PSV are fighting to win the title, they don't want the distraction of Europe. I don't know. Benfica, Napoli, no surprise there. In a way, both had qualified. In a way, I mean, Benfica could have won, but I think they need to have won by 2 goals or something. So I got Besiktas wrong. That's because I thought, well, I suppose that was, I think, affected by the red cards. I mean, if any, and you don't know what's going to happen with whether a red card's going to happen. And that's one of the classic factors. You can get a red card, which will totally change the dynamics. You can have a penalty, which will change. You can have a wrong penalty given. Interesting. Paris Saint-Germain have scored. So that means the last minute is dramatic. If they score again, then they're top of the group. So we join that match. Man City, Celtic has disappeared, so that game I think is over. So it says 3 minutes. So we're at 92 minutes and 47. Who did score? Di Maria. Okay. Ludogorets going on the counter. Go on. Because it's 93 and a half minutes gone. It could be the referee could blow his whistle at any moment. Oh, they're counter. Oh, they're attacking. Come on. At least Ludogorets have possession. It's 94 minutes. Blow the whistle. Arsenal win. Arsenal top of the table. Good old Ludogorets. They're doing the old time wasting with substitution. So I'm not bothered about Bayern Munich anyway. Now that's over. That doesn't matter. It's PSV. It's over. So it's only the PSG game left. And come on, Ludogorets are attacking. And it's over. So that's just another live betting. So you can see how reality goes compared to how you think it's going to go. This is Bayern Munich, Atletico Madrid. I had bet on Arsenal to top the group, which I thought I'd lost, but at least I win that one. More matches tomorrow, where I'll have to think about taking on board what happened today. What went wrong today?